now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go. Friday show, August 4th, 2023. Woodward Sports Network. That's what we do. That's my view every day, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I look at every single day.
Big deal. Big deal.
Oh, man. Maz, don't get mad at me. It's that guy over here talking to stuff.
Who cares? Who cares?
I'm just pointing out with the people what I have to deal with every day and trying to carry on a conversation.
You're not talking to me.
That's why sometimes I'll say Tom
sometimes.
and give him a heads up that I'm talking to him. I'm so glad. Parker, you are the man. Good afternoon to you, Parker. And Braylon,
Parker, you sold me out.
Oh, JB, too. Braylon, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Maz, don't feel bad because I have to say Ryan Ermanni sometimes, too, because he's not paying attention
That's
as well.
right.
Ryan feeling good, man. The voice is starting to come back more and more. Still not there, but the voice is feeling a lot better thanks to the tea at Birmingham Roast. Lydia, we appreciate you guys for holding me down, but I feel good, and I'm ready to tag it. Happy Friday to you, Tom Mazawey.
Happy Friday, Braylon. Great talk prior to the show. I wish we could talk about it on the air.
It was fun.
Great story. You stuck up for yourself.
Appreciate
I'm happy
it.
for you.
Thank you, sir.
And it's a Friday. It's a nice day out. I'm looking forward to a nice weekend. I'm going to see the Tigers tonight and tomorrow.
Are you really going to see the Tigers tonight?
You guys
tomorrow?
got SummerSlam
The
tomorrow.
Game tomorrow, man.
Tomorrow's a 1 o'clocker.
Well, maybe after your Tigers game, you meet us where we'll be at. We'll be in the district somewhere.
Oh, wow.
So, man, maybe
for sure.
100%. JB will be there as
well. You know what? I got one of the biggest wrestling fans are going to be with me, Darren Hill.
There it is.
I'm bringing my man Darren to the game tomorrow, and he loves you guys, and he loves when you're talking wrestling.
We love it.
I'll tell you, it's going to be a huge weekend in Detroit. I mean, like you said, man, you've got the Tigers and you've got WrestleMania. Over 50,000 people going to be not WrestleMania, SummerSlam. I'm sorry. Over 50,000 people are going to be at Ford Field tomorrow. I mean, it's going to be. We saw what it was like with the Taylor Swift and the Beyonce concert and everything like that. I mean, move SummerSlam right in because you're going to have the tailgaters. You're going to have everybody out and about in downtown Detroit tomorrow.
Yeah, one thing about this is, Ryan, you can attest to this. JB, D-Mac, shout out to D-Mac, BDE. Michigan is a big, sports town. It's an event town. It's a concert town. Metropolitan Detroit, they like concerts. They like events. They like getting out there. But wrestling is something they have supported since the beginning of the time. You talk to King Ricochet and you talk to LA Knight. WrestleMania 3. WrestleMania 3. Like that's his staple for Michiganders that are sports fans. I don't think it ever stopped. I think it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And like you said, we haven't had it since WrestleMania 23.
WrestleMania 23, 2007.
It's gonna be fun.
JB and you both going tomorrow, and Big E came through. Boy, did he! We might see you tomorrow.
100%.
Like on the TV.
Biggie came
I might have
through,
to
man.
sneak in with you.
You might have to, man. They may give us some extras for the tickets they gave us. We appreciate you, Biggie, big brother, big fan of the show. Well, I guess I would be big brother. I'm a year older. But it's going to be fun. We're going downtown, JB, Max, Jeff, the crew. We're going to have a good one. We're going to enjoy the summer downtown Detroit. The weather's been perfect.
Oh, my God.
The weather's been perfect.
Better.
It's a good time to go to SummerSlam. I'm excited.
Unbelievable. JB, you excited, bud?
So excited right now. I have permagrin on my face just knowing that I will be down there.
Have you been to a lot of WWE events at all? Or?
I've been to a few of them, especially when I was younger. Nowadays it's been AEW, but yeah, I've been to the Survivor Series.
Have you been ringside?
I've never been ringside.
That's what happens when you roll with Braylon.
I know, right?
Hey man, I do what I can do.
Right.
I do what I can do.
Oh my God, that is so great. Are you going to SummerSlam? Let us know in the WoodwardSports.com chat.
Tickets are very affordable too.
Absolutely, not too bad. Fox2Detroit.com as well. I think they opened up some tickets as well around the outer edges of the arena too.
Do the doubleheader. Do the Tigers and then walk on down to Ford Field.
That'd be an incredible day.
That's a bit much.
That's a long day.
Because you know the problem, Matt, is it's the draw between end of Tigers, which is
3:30.
3:30.
Used to be 4.
Yeah, you're
now
right.
the
It's
games are like that.
Clock. But you're talking about 3:15.
Yeah.
3:30. I gotta wait. It starts at 7:30.
You go to Hockey Town for a couple hours.
Then not the way we roll.
Not the way
we won't show up to 8 o'clock. Not the way we roll.
I mess around. The show will be over with. Mess around. I need a nap somewhere in there.
Great stuff, gang. All right, fill in the blank Friday. We'll get to those. We'll talk some Lions as well. But I do want to start with college football. News today, Braylon. It is here. Expansion of the Big Ten. Pete Thamel posting on Twitter that while there had been some initial pushback, the Big Ten vote is expected to be unanimous. The first signature move of the new commissioner's stint as Big Ten commissioner. Washington and Oregon joining the Big Ten. Arizona going to the Big 12. This after 12 hours ago, there was thought, Braylon, that the Pac-12 was going to survive, and Arizona, Oregon, Washington were going to stay there. But apparently, after a Zoom call, Washington, Oregon call up the Big Ten and say, we're coming. We're in. So here you have it. As one of the greatest players in Big Ten football history. Still,
my man.
How do you feel about this expansion, where we are with college football, and this free-for-all that seems to be college athletics, really? I don't want to limit it to football, college athletics.
The first thing I will say is welcome Oregon and Washington. You're talking about a team that beat me my freshman year, and then a team that beat me my junior year. Oregon has always represented college football well, and once Phil Knight got into the picture, he represented the money side. You saw the sport grow in terms of jerseys, in terms of helmets, in terms of uniform, and it grew in a popular way. Washington, I know you were on here yesterday saying nobody wants Washington. We want Notre Dame. Washington's another great program. They've been floating around the playoffs for the better part of the last 8 years or so. Had a couple Heisman Trophy winners that were trophy candidates, if you will, in that time period. So I don't mind these two teams. I'd rather get teams that have quality backgrounds, quality traditions, and are popping, as they say, right now. So I don't mind that. In terms of the other teams, in terms of like the landscape and people having places to go, and it sucks. Like, it's very chaotic right now. Like, if you're a team that you're less than and people don't want you, like teams like Purdue, they're lucky they're in, and this isn't a stray at Purdue University, but teams like that, they're lucky they're grandfathered into a conference like the Big Ten. Schools like Ole Miss, they're lucky they're grandfathered into an SEC. They got into the right too. Some teams that are good programs are going to be out in the cold, and it sucks because you want to go to that school, you want to fight for that school, but if you're not getting seen, that's what it's always been about. Back in the day, my dad made the decision to go to Michigan. His other opportunities were Oklahoma and Texas. He wanted to go. He wanted to go where people would see him. My dad wanted to go what was on TV. You're only getting back in the 70s.
Why do you think I fell in love with Michigan?
Exactly. Because you're only getting 5 teams that you're going to see year long, and now it's kind of getting back to that. Even though there's a ton of ways to watch, it's difficult to get to that spot. Like if you're at a Pac-12 school, it's hard right now for people to find you on freaking Fox Sports Network or FS1. How the hell difficult is it going to be to find somebody on Apple? Because I have Apple, and ladies and gentlemen, it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. So
None of those streaming services are easy.
I feel bad, and it hates that it's come to that. It's almost like the apocalypse of college football. I mean, it's fun, and I'm not negating the fun. It's more exciting than it's ever been. But there are some teams that are falling by the wayside, man, and it sucks.
Hey, I'm old enough to remember the Pac-8.
The Pac-8.
All right, the Pac-8, the Pacific.
Charles White.
I feel terrible for a conference that is just going to disappear. Why the hell not just engulf the entire conference? I read something. Some kid put it out on Twitter or X. He said the Big Ten should just take the Pac-12, merge them together. You have 2 divisions. You got the Pac-12 division. You got the Big Ten division. The 2 champions play each other in a conference championship game to win the entire conference. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's interesting, but it's not the Big Ten's responsibility to take over the Pac-12.
Especially the crap of it.
Exactly. It's not our fault.
The crap of it.
In this sense, Maz, it's not our responsibility to take, and I use our because we are, it's not our responsibility to take over that when the own Pac-12, the Pac-10, and the Pac-8, they didn't take care of their conferences enough for it to stand the test of time. They didn't take care of their individual teams. They only cared about Oregon, they only cared about USC, and they only cared about Washington from time to time. That's not the Big Ten's fault. We take them on and we bring in all those schools. Now we got to deal with all that trying to get back and forth and create a conference. That's too much for how far away we are.
But you know what? You got schools in the Big Ten that don't belong there.
Rutgers.
I mean, Rutgers, Northwestern, Maryland, Illinois. They don't win. None of those teams win. Why even? They shouldn't be in the conference. There are better teams in the Pac-12 that I could pick 4 better teams out than those schools. Arizona State I'd bring here in a second. And I need the Pac-12 in front of me so I could read them. Who else is in there? Is Nevada in there?
No.
Who else is in the Pac-12?
Colorado's. Oh, they moved.
Colorado went to the Big 12.
Utah's going to the Big 12.
I would have taken Utah.
That's a good school.
Give me Utah instead of Northwestern. What crap? You got crap.
Well, it was a regional sport. You're not trying to find the best 20
but it ain't the same
teams
anymore.
No, it's not. And I hate this. I want to see where the pulse of the people are on this. 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322. I hate it. I heard last night
terrible.
Before I went to bed that Washington and Oregon most likely were not going to join in the Pac-12 staying together. I was like, thank God. Kind of save the Big Ten from itself. I want nothing to do with Oregon and Washington. I'm sorry. I think it's dumb that they've invited these schools. I just do. USC, UCLA, that's a brand, that's a market, that's a city. That's the second largest media market in the country. You've got New York now, you've got LA. New York, New Jersey with Rutgers, even though nobody cares about Rutgers. Either way, you're still in the homes. You still have that big, even though they don't give a damn, neither do they care about sports really that much in LA either. But you are still in the homes of those in that market.
And the market's over.
It's a great market.
I just hate it because college football to me there was something, and I feel like I'm getting old. Maybe somebody didn't like it when Penn State joined the Big Ten in 1993. Oh, their independence and Joe Pa and this and that, and college athletics is ruined now that Penn State has joined a conference. But there is something about this particular expansion of 18 that sends me over a cliff.
Funny.
It just does. It sends me over a cliff with college football. It is not my favorite sport anymore. Michigan, I love Michigan. I'm a huge Michigan guy. I'm not going to say that I'm not.
We know that.
But I'm a little bit less of a avid college football fan now. Just because the way I enjoy it is changing forever.
I always knew something was going to happen with the Pac-12 and USC. Now, I'd be lying if I said they'd be coming to the Big Ten. Then I would just be a stinking liar on here. But the reason why, I just remember being in college. I remember watching the USC highlights. I remember watching, because they were always on TV. They were always on the highlight reels, if you will. But I remember even watching their games. You're talking about peak Reggie Bush, Lindell White, Matt Leinart. You're talking about back-to-back national championships. Maybe had a third chance. They never had over 100% occupancy in the stadium. They never were full. Like, it didn't matter how big the game in USC or UCLA or insert institution here in the Pac-12, games were never full unless you're talking about Oregon, unless you're talking about at Autzen Stadium, which I know about losing up there. But I just always like, they got to do something about this. They never did, and here we are. It's crazy.
Well, look, the Pac-12 commissioner failed them. Yeah. He had 3 years to get a TV deal done. And up till last night, they were trying to bargain with Apple TV. And the rest of the Pac-12 said, no way. And that forced the hand of Oregon and Washington to call up Petiti, who was the commissioner of the Big Ten, and say, all right, we'll come for 60, 70 cents on the dollar. Let's go. We're getting the hell out of this. They did not want to sit and wait anymore. There were going to be 9 teams left in the Pac-12. Now there will be 7. Until the other guys run out of there and go to the Big 12 probably. By the time it's all said and done, you're going to have 4 or 5 teams left in the once proud.
It's going to be Washington State, Oregon State.
Boise State, just jump over Fresno.
You know what?
Fresno
those are good
State.
schools.
But that's who's coming to the Pac-12 or whatever that division is going to be called. It'll be Boise State, Fresno State. It'll be schools up in line that. But man, you hit the nail on the head. They had time and he dropped the ball. Because we heard about Oklahoma and Texas. We heard about that in 2020. And then right after that got announced, became Oregon and USC, or Oregon and or UCLA and USC in 2021. Now, they've had 4 years to figure that situation out. It didn't just happen this year. It didn't just happen last year. It announced last year before the season started. They've had since 2020 and 2021.
I don't want college football to look like the NFL either. I personally don't, in that I like Michigan and USC to play in a bowl game or play in a playoff. I don't want them to be in the same conference. And then you play USC, Oregon, Washington, UCLA, Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State.
Yeah.
I mean,
throw in Notre Dame, Florida
hey,
State.
right. Like you're not playing anybody else.
College football and bowl games used to be about like the dream matchup. It's like, oh man, Florida State,
Can't
Michigan,
wait,
can't wait for Oregon and Notre Dame some crazy way. Now they're all in the same division. It's like, boo, we saw that last week.
You know what your cupcake schedule is going to look like now? The new Michigan cupcake schedule. Instead of playing East Carolina and Bowling Green, you're now going to lead with Northwestern and Maryland, those kind of schools.
Yeah.
But who else? Who else? I mean, forget about playing the little guys anymore.
Forget about playing
it's
Eastern
over.
Michigan, Western Michigan,
it's
Central
over.
Michigan. Enjoy Central and Michigan State this year.
You're not going to see it again.
No.
Why do you think when all these pundits are out here trying to get Michigan to change their schedule over the past 2-3 years, Michigan's like, no, we're good. Michigan knows what's coming.
No doubt.
It's gonna ultimately come this way anyway. Why change it now?
You better throw the ball, Jim Harbaugh. Unleash J.J. McCarthy this year.
313-552-6322. 313-552-6322. Are we overreacting? How do you feel about this expansion to the Big Ten? Oregon and Washington are in. Which two teams are next? And you aren't allowed to say Stanford and Cal. I may jump off a bridge. Please do not give me Stanford and Cal, please.
Cal and Stanford.
But don't give me them either. But first, a message from Dispo.
Oh, you know what? I got my voice back today. Experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with Dispo Dispensary. Usually we go out there and have a good time on Fridays, but we're not in. We're in the studio, so I just talk about them. Over 12 locations in the state of Michigan, and all of them fire. All of them cater to you, but it's 21 and up, and it is rec only. It's no medicinal, but I promise you the rec is fire enough. All the best brands and all the best service. Dispo, your local plug.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. In Detroit sports coverage. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports. Detroit's winning sports network. We are the network for Detroit. By Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, how would you like to play golf like a celebrity? And thanks to Randy Wise, you can do that, of course, with Woodward Sports as well. And thanks to Randy Wise Automotive, you can do it. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice, and make sure you pay attention to us here at Woodward Sports for more of the details to come on how you can play golf like a celebrity.
Welcome back, WoodwardSports.com, and everybody watching on Fox2Detroit.com, maybe watching on Tubi or the Fox 2 News app. We certainly appreciate you all, maybe Fox Local as well. That is a new sort of download that you can get on your Roku, Apple TV, Fire Stick. It's called Fox Local. Pull us up. We're there 2 to 4 each and every day. Braylon Edwards, Ryan Ermanni, Tom Mazawey, Parker, and
Alex being here yesterday.
Yeah,
he
Alex
threw
really
you
screwed
up.
me
That's
up.
what it was. I got your back.
Right, Parker and JB in the house talking about Oregon and Washington joining the Big Ten. Deion Sanders has chimed in on conference realignment. Here's what he had to say. Deion Sanders on conference realignment from On3 Sports says, all this is about money. You know that. It's about a bag. Everyone's chasing a bag. Then you get mad at the players when they chase it. How is that? You know, this guy has been nothing but great for college football, Deion Sanders, because he really kind of illustrates, highlights, and puts a spotlight on the hypocrisy of so many people in college athletics, on the NCAA, on the coaches, on the presidents, on everybody, on the media, on the fans. Oregon and Washington and Arizona are leaving a conference they've been a part of for decades because of money. So if a player wants to capitalize on their market when they can, how do we say you're wrong?
I just want to say
I don't think we do anymore.
I just want to say it like this. Deion Sanders is absolutely correct, and the way he sheds light on it. Prime is coaching the situation right now. All players know that have come into college football is people chasing money, whether it's coaches leaving one institution to go get more money at another institution, whether it's one whole institution trying to leave a conference to go get money at another conference, whoever it is, whether it's the NCAA trying to get more money out of the institutions by suing them and trying to set them back straight and get them back in line, which they never will. All players know is go and get this money. Somebody's going to get this money. Everybody's going to get the money under these 18, 19, 20-year-old players. So what are they left to do? They're like, shoot, I got to protect my ass like everybody else has to protect their ass. And that's becoming the that's becoming the mindset of everybody involved in college football. I got to protect my ass. To that I have to protect my booty. But what I say to that, it's going to come a point in time where everybody can protect themselves. It's going to get uglier and uglier and uglier. I don't like the way it's going.
It's horrible.
It's going to get ugly,
It ain't, like they say, it's not your father's college football anymore. It's just not. It's the new brand. And like I said this years ago. It's going to be north, south, east, west. Those are going to be your conferences in another 10, 15 years. That's the names of your conferences. You can name them the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC, the Pac-12. You can name them whatever the hell you want. But that's what you're going to have. You're going to have 4 super conferences, and everyone else is going to play their own brand of college football.
So just looking at the chat here, Ryan, Oregon and Washington took less money to join the Big Ten. Yes and no. They took less money than other principal Big Ten teams took, but it's still more money than they were making as part of the Pac-12.
Package, yeah, exactly.
And if there's a new deal, they'll get the full brunt of that.
Exactly. So it's less money than Michigan and Ohio State and USC get, but it's still more than they get from a crap TV deal with the Pac-12. And then 7 years from now, on that next multi-billion-dollar TV money, they'll get that as well.
They're about to be in a situation where I think somehow what they're going to do is align those conferences or align that Pac-12 conferences with what remains on the West Coast and the Mountain West, et cetera, and they'll play the winner of that gets a spot in the playoffs or the Final 12 or something along those lines. But to that point, they're not paying every school in that division. They're not paying every one of those teams. They're only paying the team that wins that conference. Or whatever that conference, however it's slated and set up, they're only paying that team. So if you're one of those teams like an Oregon or Washington, like, oh, we'll wait to see how this deal comes about and how we can capitalize on this deal, you'd have been left holding more nothing but you know what. If you would have stayed and waited, they had to make that move.
I promised myself I would never be get off my lawn guy. I would never turn into old man. Is it possible that all 3 of us are turning into old man guy right now?
Well, I'm already that.
Well,
but you know what? I'm a friendly guy like that. I don't tell you to get off my lawn. I like what it used to be like. That's all.
And I think that's where I am too. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean I'm anti. Doesn't mean like I'm against it. I would prefer Big Ten versus Pac-10. I'm not even saying Big Ten versus Pac-10 in the Rose Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just saying keep the conferences somewhat regional. Have a nice non-conference meeting. once or twice a year, and then play your own conference.
I haven't got to the.
That's where I am right now.
I haven't fully got to the point of, hey, you guys get off my lawn, but I am at that point like, hey, what's going on over there? Like, I may not just come out and say, hey, you guys get off my lawn, but I will ask the question, hey, what's going on over there? Because I want to know what's going on with the landscape of the NCAA as it relates to the NIL, as it relates to coaches and everything else. Right now, it's in an iffy space. It's okay to ask questions on where is the next 3 years going for the NCAA, because nobody knows, including the NCAA.
And we really don't know how this college football playoff is going to, pan out either. I mean, are they going to exclusively take Big Ten SEC teams? Will all 12 playoff spots belong to Big Ten and SEC
Big
teams?
conferences.
Because if you're Michigan, let's say you're Michigan, and you play Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State, USC, Oregon, Washington.
Greatest schedule ever.
Yeah, it is the greatest schedule. Conversely, if you're Alabama, if you're playing Texas, Oklahoma, Auburn, LSU, I mean,
that's tough.
Yeah, you're going to have
Georgia,
3 or 4,
Florida.
5 losses, right? I mean, it could just be a total round robin where, the best team in the country will have 3 losses.
I was listening.
That's college basketball for you.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Maz.
And here's the other side of it, too. I was listening to Peter King in the car earlier talk about it, and this is out of his depth. He's usually not the college guy. But he was like, how long before you start adding more games? And then it becomes a point where you're finishing right before the Super Bowl ends. He said, kids go to class. And then he said this, which I thought was some BS, but what it is what it is. He said, well, let's act like the students go to class. I did not appreciate that, Peter King. We went to class, at least at some schools we did. But with that being said, how long before they're like, you know what, let's exempt them from classes? Like, how long before it turns, all right, from September through January, you guys are exempt from classes. You don't even have to go to classes. For football players, we'll start classes.
You got the fall semester
Exactly.
off.
You got the fall semester off. We'll start it in January for you guys. How long before that happens? Because that's where it's getting. Right now, NCAA, most of that money is accounted for by the sport of football. How long before that happens where they just give all the kids a pass? And then how long before they're like, you know what? Some kids don't even have to go to school when they're here.
Where we are right now in the college football landscape, too, and conference realignment and everything, it does. The big fish, obviously, out there is Notre Dame. You've got 2 spots left in the Big Ten. You've got a couple more spots in the SEC. That is the absolute whale. I've said this before, but I really mean it now. No Big Ten team should ever schedule Notre Dame again unless they agree to come to the Big Ten. Conversely, no SEC school should schedule Notre Dame unless they join the SEC. Notre Dame's got they've got a choice to make. And I think these 2 conferences, the Big Ten and the SEC, could really force the hand of Notre Dame to join a conference here.
Don't forget the ACC.
ACC's dead.
No, they're not.
ACC's dead.
Who's an ACC?
Because I'll tell you that
Notre Dame goes over there, they're live.
Let me take a
Notre Dame,
take
Florida State, and Clemson.
Listen, let's talk about this because Florida State, Clemson,
They're leaving.
They're in North Carolina. They're going
Not
to
if
the
Notre Dame
SEC.
comes.
They're going to the SEC.
Okay.
I know where Notre Dame is going.
And we'll get to that next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts. Have been for over 90 years. You see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house. Tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
The number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
How about that rookie? He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Yes, $100,000 Vegas getaway. Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win the $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meijer. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who look good, desire to feel great, and be the best version of themselves. drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
Talking about college football realignment, and we're shifting our attention to, obviously, look, the Big Ten and the SEC. Those are going to be the two top dogs, and both of those conferences are going to 20 teams. It's not a matter of if, but when.
Maybe more.
Those two conferences will go to 20 teams. And you're right, Mass, maybe more, but at least that's the next step.
Yep.
And I made the statement before the break, if I am a Big Ten conference team, in no way, shape, ever would I ever schedule Notre Dame unless they are willing to join the Big Ten Conference. And the SEC should do the same thing. Nobody should schedule Notre Dame, because now Notre Dame needs you more than you need Notre Dame. If Michigan's coming out there with a schedule, Braylon Edwards, of Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State, USC, Oregon, you know who they don't need to put on that schedule?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
And the reason why you're absolutely right is, one, you're right, but two, it just happened. Look at what happened last year. Maz and Ryan, the opening week of the season, what was the game that I said I was most looking forward to seeing? It was former player Marcus Freeman, now Notre Dame head coach, going against who? Going against Ohio State. His former team, after he made those comments. Notre Dame benefited by almost beating Ohio State, because at the end of the season, when you looked at their record and they were 11-3, you were like, yeah, man, and they almost beat Notre Dame. If they would have they almost beat Ohio State. If they would have beat Ohio State, it would have done nothing but help Notre Dame out. If they lost just like they did, it did nothing for Ohio State. Ohio State didn't benefit by beating that Notre Dame team. You're absolutely right, because it just happened. They didn't benefit by beating that Notre Dame team. But Notre Dame damn sure looked good when they were 11-3 at the end of the year and finished with a big bowl game win.
But we all know
Yeah.
Notre Dame brings you money.
True.
You play
100%.
Notre Dame, the most eyes are on your game, the most fannies are in your seats, the most souvenirs are being bought, the most drinks are going to be bought. Notre Dame, that's the game. You want to play them. Love them or hate them, you want to play them. So you're biting off your own nose to spite your face if you don't play.
I don't think you are.
They know their brand.
I don't think you are, yeah.
I think they know their brand, and they're just waiting for that home run offer. Like they're the prom king waiting for the prom queen to come up to him and ask him for a dance. They're waiting for that perfect deal, because they believe, and they are to a certain extent, that brand. Notre Dame is one of those brands, when you put them on the schedule, when they come to your place, makes that game a better place. Not every school can say that, including Michigan. I've seen bowl games where Michigan, they didn't show up as well as the other fans. Notre Dame is a place where when they show up, they're going to show up and show out. They're waiting for that prom queen to come up and say, hey, can I have this dance? That's what they're waiting for.
They already play hoops in the ACC,
Right.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, and then in COVID, they joined the ACC
I'm telling you,
football, too.
that's the wild card.
I understand that. I think the ACC will dissolve, too, because I think Florida State, North Carolina, and Clemson will bolt for the SEC.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's where that's going.
Virginia Tech and Florida State are big ones for them. Yeah.
You know, in my nobody should schedule Notre Dame in the Big Ten kind of mind, there's one team. Look, Notre Dame's biggest rival is USC. So you would have to convince USC to kind of kick them off the schedule unless they join the Big Ten. And I'm not sure that they would do that.
No.
I'm just saying it from a pure leverage point of view. I would absolutely do that if I was the Big Ten, because the Big Ten, I think the Big Ten, not Notre Dame, now owns all the leverage.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. And I believe that USC, even though their own entity, they just came in and blah, blah, blah. I think USC would be ready to play ball with the rest of the Big Ten. Like, hey, you know what? If that's what it takes around here, you know what? We don't have to play Notre Dame, because guess what? It doesn't help us as well playing Notre Dame against the other teams in this conference already. So I think they will play ball.
Where do you think they will end up?
I think they're going to end up in the SEC. Like, I think they're going to end up in the SEC. I think Jimbo Fisher will want to crack at them. Not Jimbo Fisher. Brian Kelly will want to crack at them. I think Notre Dame will want to get in that division. They understand where the money, and that's going to be Georgia, and that's going to be Alabama right now. And then LSU, even though LSU is a wild card, LSU has just as much money as Alabama and Georgia, or more money than Georgia, but less money than Alabama, but not by a lot. So
remember when Notre Dame wanted? They said months ago, we want to triple what we're making now off the TV deal. And now NBC, as you know, is basically buying into all these other conferences, including the Big Ten, with Peacock and all their brands. There'll be another TV station.
Yeah.
I don't care. It might even be streaming that'll come after Notre Dame. It might be Apple.
Prime?
It might be Prime. That'll say, okay, you got it, Notre Dame. And they might stay independent and get their own money and call their own shots still, and they will still do very well on their own.
Let me ask you this question. How much of Notre Dame, when you think about, let's just take aside the football part, the football aspect, let's talk about who Notre Dame is, the Catholics, et cetera. With the Catholics in Notre Dame, knowing their fan base, knowing their regents, knowing their boards, knowing everything, president, blah, 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 would they want, now that I'm asking, would they want to go to the SEC? Because the type of fans in the SEC are going to be those same fans that back in 1988 you called convicts. They're going to be that same type of fan, the rowdiness of the SEC, a little bit different than what you get in South Bend, Indiana. Would they want to go to the SEC and deal with all that? They would want to be around Purdue, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio State to a certain extent. That's our wild card in terms of the rowdiness.
USC, though.
USC is exactly. They play them around. I think they would want to be a part of those type of fan bases, those type of teams. I'm not trying to be that guy, but that's real. They're the ones that came up with Catholics versus convicts.
And you know where the money is. The money is in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
You're in homes in New York.
Chicago,
you're in homes in Los
New
Angeles,
York.
Chicago, Philadelphia, Detroit.
New York.
I mentioned that.
I had to say that twice.
You know, you are in 10 of the top 12 markets in the country. Now you throw in Seattle in there.
You get some DC carryover.
That's the fifth largest media market. You're in the top friggin' 12 of the top 16 media markets. You know, I mean, you want money, you need eyeballs. You want eyeballs, you go to big cities, and that's where the money is. So if Notre Dame wants to triple their deal, that's where you do it, in the Big Ten.
I agree. I agree.
Let's talk a little bit about those Michigan Wolverines guys, because there is a new preseason poll out. It is On Three's preseason poll, top 25. This is not the right one yet, but we can stick with this one. That's fine.
The 3 o'clock tweet.
Yeah, the 3 o'clock tweet, Parker. We'll get that up momentarily. But Michigan is number 2 in the preseason rankings, only behind Georgia at number 1. Now, AP coaches poll, when they come out, Braylon Edwards, we'll see where they are. But On Three does a pretty nice job of covering college athletics, and they opened Michigan up in the preseason poll at number 2. Your thoughts?
I'm fine with that. You know, at the end of the day, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. And right now, Georgia is number 1. Is Georgia number 1?
Yes.
All right. Right now, so I can continue my spiel. To beat
we'll
a man,
get it up momentarily for you.
To beat a man,
got it up.
To beat a man, you got to beat the man, and Georgia is the man. They're the reigning, defending, 2-time back-to-back national championships, and they have done it with ease. If we want to be honest, they almost lost the game against Ohio State, but I don't care about almost. They won both national championship games decidingly. Both years they beat Alabama decidingly, or at least 2 years ago. So with that being said, I like where Michigan is. Michigan is back-to-back Big Ten champs. They're 12. They're what? 25-1 in the Big Ten record the last 2 years. They've handled Ohio State. They have handled Ohio State. I say it again. They have handled Ohio State when Ohio State has had Heisman Trophy candidate caliber quarterbacks. Now you got a quarterback that you don't know about. Alabama, we don't know what Milroe would be at the quarterback position. Also, Alabama hasn't looked the best in the last 2 years. I know they were in the national championship game 2 years ago, but they didn't look that good in that game. And then last year, you saw what that season was. They did not look like the Alabama from 5 years ago, the Alabama that was dominant when they won their last national championship. USC, it's on defense for them. Their defense is going to be the key for what they do. LSU is going to be that sleeper. I love LSU.
I know. Hey, Brad, before we move on, let me just, for the people that are doing audio only,
I'm so sorry.
let me just read this for you. Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Ohio State 3, LSU 4, and Alabama round out the top 5. And then 6 through 10, USC, Penn State, Florida State, Clemson, and Washington. I continue.
A lot of Big Ten teams.
100%. And you know what's going to happen. That Penn State team is going to drop out at some point.
But you've been talking about LSU a ton.
I love Jaden Daniels. I love what they have at their quarterback position. I love what Brian Kelly was able to do. Everybody cracked jokes, including us, family, and everything he did in the beginning. But he got that team to buy into him. He got that fan base, which is one of the best in the country in LSU and down there in Death Valley. He got them to buy in as well. You know how you get people to buy in? You beat Alabama year one. So I like LSU. I like how they have it slated. I think they got it right. They definitely got it right.
So a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, we kind of did a topic of, do you believe it's national championship or bust for Michigan this year? Could you say that Michigan will only be successful in 2023 if they win the national championship? And for the longest time, I've said no. I changed that today. I do think now this is a national championship or bust season. If they don't win the national championship this year, I'm not sure it ever happens for Michigan. It's just we still could have a really great college football program. You can be a top 5 program, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there is definitely a separation between 1 and 2 and then everybody else. You can kind of be the best of the rest. And maybe right now anyway, that feels like Michigan is the best of the rest. They have to earn that next step. And that next step is winning a playoff game, competing for and winning a national championship. And you, Braylon, you had mentioned all the reasons why. Ohio State, first-year quarterback. Alabama, first-year quarterback. Georgia, first-year quarterback. You have Ohio State at home this year. You know what? You go on the road to Penn State, you got to beat Penn State. You want to win the national championship, you got to get to the playoff first. Yeah. And you know what? The road isn't going to be, Bowling Green and, all these other crazy teams. What I'm trying to say is this is the year. If it doesn't happen this year, it's not going to crush my soul, but I think you will know where Michigan stands in college football based on this year.
I think you're saying two things for me, and the one thing that you're saying I agree with, which is this is their best opportunity to win a national championship in terms of what they have coming back, offense and defense, in terms of having a vetted quarterback, now being able to lead Michigan in charge from January all the way through January. I think this is their best opportunity in terms of that they're in their best comfort zone in terms of where Jim Harbaugh, think of where Jim Harbaugh started last offseason, almost going to the Minnesota Vikings. Think about where he started this year. He was locked and loaded. He was in with the team. So I think this is their best opportunity. But if Michigan didn't win the national championship this year, I wouldn't be pissed. I would be mad. I'd be mad, but I would be happy they got there. I think for me, it's get to the national championship or bust. They haven't won a semifinal game yet. And not only have they not won, they've been dominated in the losses. They got dominated by Georgia in 2022, and they got dominated this past January. I was there by TCU. They need to win a game. If you tell me Michigan somehow plays Georgia or Alabama or LSU or USC or insert in or Ohio State in the semifinals and they win in the first round, I'm okay with that as long as they don't get embarrassed in the second round. But to your point, this is their best opportunity to win because of all the things, people coming back, and the quarterback situations of the other 6 teams in the top 6.
ESPN put some
they got to win the semifinals game.
Literature out regarding the Michigan Wolverines and their chances to go to the college football playoff. We'll read some of what they had to say next. But first, a message from Big Boy.
Yes, sir. It is the Strawberry Fest continuing in this summer of Big Boy. Started off with a great breakfast, the strawberry hotcakes, the mouth-watering red velvet waffles. How about it? And if you don't want that, step it up with a little brunch, the strawberry bacon chicken wrap or the summer splash salad, and save some room for dessert because you got the classic strawberry pie. Put some whipped cream on that and you're going to love it. Also, the deep-fried vanilla Oreo or the strawberry hot fudge cake, or you can order just a Big Boy. Maybe make it a double if you want. Just get to your Big Boy.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Hey, your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company, your source for power equipment, outdoor power equipment, sales, service, parts, carrying the top brands such as Bad Boy, Ellis, Tractor, Steel, and more. They service the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more, visit OutdoorEquipCo.com. OutdoorEquipCo.com, your power equipment playground. Going to get to the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, coming up top of the hour. I do just want to clean up. We haven't talked college football at all, barely, over the course of the last couple of months, and just to put a bow on this, ESPN put out the 16 teams that have the best chance to go to the college football playoff. Obviously, Michigan is one of them. The FPI projection for Michigan to make the playoffs, 26%. Do you agree or disagree with that FPI ranking? The author here disagrees. After reaching the college football playoff twice in the past 2 seasons and returning a bulk of the experience, Michigan's chances should be higher and ahead of Ohio State. Right now, Michigan has the edge in returning quarterback with experience. J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards has more and more physical up front in the rivalry game. Toughest test, it's a coin toss between the game against Ohio State and a November 11th trip to Penn State. Ohio State is more talented, but Penn State, for the Nittany Lions, will have home field advantage, and it will have a Super Bowl-like feel.
It's going to be a game.
You think that'll be a whiteout, right?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a game. Like, one thing about Penn State's fans and Penn State as a team, with the exception of maybe James Franklin, They know how to play at home in those whiteouts, and those fans know how to come up and show out. So it's going to be a hell of a game. He's absolutely right. It's still the Ohio State game for me, but I definitely could understand the nervousness of the Penn State.
I would love to go to that game.
Which game?
Would
Penn
you guys
State?
like to go to that game?
No.
No?
Because it'd probably be a night game.
Oh, Jesus.
Because then we have to do after night game. You got to go to the hotel all late and then drive out in the
I'll
morning.
drive. I don't care. I'll go home that same night.
It's like a 10-hour drive, isn't it?
No, it's not.
No, it's 7.5.
It's like 6 hours.
Yeah. You two in the car, 6 hours? Man, no thank you.
I'm the king of the road, man.
Sign up.
man.
Give me some NyQuil and some Benadryl.
God.
Then I'll
You
come.
can sleep in the back, Braylon. We'll take the van, the minivan.
You gotta get a conversion van. We got the TVs in the back, like back in the day. The Astra. Hey, those used to be fun. Back in
That
the 80s.
was good. That was
Hell
good.
Yeah, I used to drive up to.
My friend almost drove off a cliff while we were watching
my
one
God.
of those TVs.
Hey, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this Iowa kicker?
Yeah.
Did
Oh
you see
man,
the story about this
4,400.
Iowa
This
guy?
kid, man.
170 bets.
He was betting when he was a freaking kid.
100.
He was betting on the sideline.
On his mom's account. So the story is this Iowa kicker, Adam Blom, he's been accused of placing 170 bets, totaling $4,400 before he turned 21 years old. And he did this from his mom's account. Like, this thing is just going to explode.
Yeah.
Yep. Someone's going to get caught bad.
Well, I think that Denver Broncos guy did get caught bad. He's talking about going to prison.
I know.
For 2 years.
He was betting on his own team. He was
Yeah.
betting
Is that the $8
over-unders on
million
his
guy?
players.
Where's the $2 million guy? They're never gonna sit down.
I don't know. That might be the Denver Broncos guy that is going to prison, probably.
Was it $2 million or $8
allegedly.
million?
They said $8 million, which is a lot for an NFL player.
$8 million. That's not that many bets. Like if it's $8 million, that's like no. I'm saying like you're that's not an accumulation.
There is nobody outside of a quarterback that can affect a game more than a kicker.
Yep.
An over/under, a spread.
Yeah.
There isn't a player on a football field that can affect a spread more outside of a quarterback than a kicker.
Defensive end.
And a ref.
And a referee.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
And
Welcome to the NBA.
don't think this is not exclusive to just the players too. You're gonna have some coaches. You're gonna have some referees get all caught up in this. This gambling situation.
It's an epidemic.
Is not only an epidemic, but it could potentially be death to sports. I swear. I swear. Because if this thing turns into WWE or the element of WWE.
Yeah, knowing the outcome.
People. I watched that Seattle Seahawks LA Rams game last year.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that wasn't scripted. That outcome was not pre-planned. You will never convince me that ref was not on the take.
New York Giants and Washington Commanders.
Oh, that was horrible.
Remember that when the ref stared at him, said, "You're good, you're good, you're good." Threw the flag.
The minute they snapped the ball, he threw the flag.
Thing. And they lost the game.
Yeah.
And they
Down
lost
at the
that
goal
game.
line.
Yeah.
And I think that alone is enough
Knocked me out of my survivor pool.
to really change sport. You know what I mean? To really change sports.
Yeah.
I think that alone is enough to change this stuff.
Ryan, I think it's one of those things where they knew they would open the floodgates. Like, they're not stupid. They're not idiots. They knew they would open it to some capacity, but I don't think that they thought it would be this bad, and I don't think thought it would be both levels. I don't think they knew what they were opening it up to in terms of NCAA kids, and I don't think they knew what they were doing for the kids or the guys in the NFL that aren't Jared Goff, that aren't Amon-Ra St. Brown, that aren't going to be your starting players or even your second-string player. Those guys that are fighting to make the team. Those guys that are like not rest in peace, but your boy Tom Kennedy. Like guys like that. Where
His career, maybe.
True. That's real.
He's
Rest in
back
peace
with the
to
Lions.
Yeah, practice squad.
Yeah,
Good
it's
for
fun.
him.
So not poo-pooing on him, but saying those guys like that are trying to make the team, and they're like, you know what? How can they find out if I put a little bet in? I can put it in my boy's name. I do a little bet. I should be good to go. I'm trying to make some money. Blah blah blah. They didn't know that it was going to affect people like that.
I saw this kid, Adam Blom. Someone put a video from a bar. They were very audible. You could see it. It's crystal clear. Look for it. He's betting with someone. I've got $500 right now on it. We're not talking, hey, I got $20, $50. This guy right away, $500, let's go.
And not
right
discreetly either.
Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to be doing this.
And he's like, hey, don't tape that. This could be illegal. That's what he also said. And this kid, man, and the kicker on the Iowa state team, he bet like the under in the Iowa versus Iowa State game. The kicker.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't. It's bad. It's a bad scene, man. Very bad.
You go to prison for that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you really do. That you can't. To bet an under as a place kicker is.
That's telling you I'm about to miss these kicks on purpose.
Yes.
Basically, it's so
Extra
many words.
points, field goal attempts.
Forget about it.
Yeah, no, we're not going to overtime. No, I'm not making this kick to go to overtime. I got $4,000 on this game.
Yeah.
You know? No.
Yeah.
Doink. No, I'm not.
Oops.
Sorry.
They are so good.
Not going to overtime.
They can hit a goalpost if they want to. That's how good most of these kickers are.
Just shave it a little far right.
That's it.
They'll never know. They'll never know.
Oh, man, until they do.
And then it's trouble.
But again, it's shame on these leagues for, again, what did Deion Sanders say an hour ago? It's all about chasing that bag. These colleges, universities, television rights deals, you're all in bed with the devil. And don't be surprised when that devil creeps up and wants to do a little dance with you. Don't be surprised. Don't act like you are some moral authority on anything. But my goodness, if you didn't think it was, this is just the start, too.
I
by
still
the way,
want to say
this is the tip
and I know
of the
we've
iceberg.
hit this 100 times, but Jamison Williams should not be suspended for 6 games. He did not do anything that warrants a 6-game suspension. 2 games, 3 games max, not 6 games. Where the hell did they come up with the 6 games? This thing should still be chased after, if you ask me. There's just too much out there that tell you no one knows the rules or no one gives a damn about the rules. 6 games for betting on a college football game in a team hotel in another state. You're in your room on the bed waiting to go to dinner. And he opens his phone and he puts a bet in on a college football game in a team hotel. I can't make that clearer.
You know what's happening in week 7? Do you know?
James Williams coming back.
Roger Goodell is making a new rule that if you bet at the team hotel, that's fine.
Yeah, we know it. We know it. It's always the after the lion gets screwed.
2-game suspension for that moving forward.
We're never the exception to the rule. We're always the rule.
What did Alvin Kamara do?
Got into a fight in the club in Vegas.
Okay, we're going to tell you how many games he got when we come back.
We'll do that next. A little NFL talk. Boop, boop. And we'll get 1 week from tonight. The Detroit Lions, baby, and the New York Football Giants. 1 week from tonight. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company for over 60 years. Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. Grab-and-go steaks. Order online as well next day. They'll ship them out. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com.
Sourced, aged, prime, cut, packed to perfection.
All that.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
How about that rookie? He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Woodward Sports Network on a Friday, August 4th, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com if you're watching live. However you are listening or watching, we absolutely appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, hit that like button for us. Let's see if we can get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment. Braylon Edwards, we're just talking about Jameson Williams getting 6 games for betting on a college football game.
It's Matt's favorite subject.
On the road in a different state. Maz, you have an update today on how many games Alvin Kamara got?
Yeah, Alvin Kamara. Well, fill us in again, Bray. What did he do?
He got to a fight at a nightclub with an individual, and I believe it wasn't, he versus the individual. I think it was his boys versus the individual. A little kicky, a little punchy, and he received a total of
3 games.
There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Thank you.
How could he?
First 3 games of the season.
How could you not?
According to Ari Meirov, Saints Pro Bowl running back Alvin Kamara has been suspended 3 games for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. Per Adam Schefter, suspension stems from when Kamara was arrested in Las Vegas while at the Pro Bowl in February of 2022.
J-Mo, a 21-year-old kid, in his hotel room waiting to go out to dinner with his teammates, got on a college football or college basketball game on the road somewhere way away from Michigan. It gets back to the commissioner, and he suspends the kid 6 games. That is a freaking disgrace. I'm sick and tired of talking about this, but this is the total injustice. Yeah. Total. You got to fight it. You must fight this. Lions.
No, dude, I totally agree with you. I just
rules are rules.
It's just a fight that is
but
unwinnable.
It's different rules.
It's a fight that's unwinnable.
I was asking, that's what
it's a fight that's unwinnable with the NFL. Yeah. But I still do believe the Lions should absolutely try to appeal and knock this down.
I knew, when they said it instantly, I knew NFL and them had already had conversations, because when it first came down, when it said 6 games, there was the first thing he said, we're not appealing it. The Lions weren't appealing it. So that was a conversation that they had already had. Roger Goodell, they knew what they were going to do, and they knew what they couldn't do. What I would hope happens for Jameson, now he's going to lose the 6 games. The Lions will be without him for the first 6. But I hope somehow, once they set the rules again, he's able to sue for some of his back pay. I hope he's able to sue for get four games worth of money back out of the NFL.
Can I sue for 3 losses?
Well, they won't have 3 losses. They won't have 3 losses, but hopefully something like that is able to be worked out, because it's just like NIL and in the college sports. This is an S show in the professional level, talking about gambling. And look, everybody's out there hey, look, they know not to gamble. They know not to gamble. That's partly true. They know not to gamble, the things that they've said. But a lot of miscommunication, a lot of things haven't been necessarily eloquated to the players like they eloquated to the media and to you guys. So it's still hearsay, boom, boom, boom. It's just such an interesting road. I feel like the players have a case, like you said.
When there's not fairness in anything, when there is...
when the rules keep changing.
When the rules keep changing, and when whatever you're talking about, when there is a lack of perceived fairness. Like, for instance, get arrested, get a 3-game suspension. Bet on a college football game in a different state, you get 6 games.
Beat the living daylights out of a woman, 2 games.
2 games.
One game.
If they don't see it, no games.
When the penalty doesn't fit the crime and you feel like there is such a lack of fairness, that's what erodes trust in the game or in anything. And this NFL policy is just a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
And it needs to be changed, and teams need to stand up to big bad Roger Goodell, who's levying these suspensions down. And even, did you see the Hall of Fame game last night?
Barely.
The video going on of Roger Goodell and hugging Deshaun Watson.
He's so sweet.
And, you're so sweet. There was like a bro hug and a couple of chuckles and a couple of pats on the chest.
Makes $50 million
They
a year.
looked like best friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I'm like, what is happening here?
Because Roger Goodell allowed them to only pay him up $1.2 million last year, which means he didn't lose any money. So they are buddy buddies. It's kind of like when backstage you see the Republicans and the Democrats like buddy buddy having a good conversation, or in wrestling back in the day you see like
and then out in front they're at each other's throat.
Exactly.
Behind the curtain they're both laughing at us.
It's like you back in the day
they're both laughing at us.
You never saw Hulk Hogan. You never saw Iron Sheik hang out with Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Until you did.
And it almost messed wrestling up. 100%. The bar fight. And I was like, wait, you guys are friends? How you guys know?
Then they were arrested in the car traveling together.
100%. So that's what it is right now. Like, wait, I thought you guys were at odds ends, but you guys are actually... Wait, you didn't see what you saw.
My gosh.
Listen, I'm speaking from a wounded fan,
I'm not a
okay?
crook.
I will still never forgive Jim Caldwell for not running on the field and tackling that ref in Dallas in 2014. Instead, he stood on the sidelines like a gentleman that he is, fiddling with his freaking radio like he always did. And it was a disgraceful way to lose a game. Even though they had more time, I know. They could have scored earlier. I know all of that. But that was a disgraceful play against the Lions. And the freaking coach, I would have ran the whole freaking team on the field to make him go watch the video. Look at Des Bryant run on the field. Look, there was so many bad things that happened to the Lions that day, and they never got an apology. It didn't matter anyway because your season's over.
Maz, if you had one tackle of an official that would change your call, would you tackle the ref in the Dallas game, or would you tackle the ump on the perfect game?
Wow.
No, it'd be the Lions game for sure because the result of the game changed.
Yeah.
Right.
The result of the game
Look, I'm
changed.
still talking about 2014 Lions. I'll never get that
10 years
referee.
ago, yeah.
And the other guy I want to go after is the Calvin rule. That's the other game.
In Chicago?
Yeah, that's what the. We all know what a catch is.
Yeah, he caught that.
Now we don't.
Possessed that.
I'm fine now.
Okay,
sold
very
his
good.
possession.
I'm okay.
Guys, I do. There was
6 games for J-Mo.
on ESPN.com today. There was they'd ask a question and say, is it an overreaction or not? So they make a statement, and you have to tell them whether or not it's an overreaction. So let me read for you what the statement was. I'll read for you what their answer was and see what you guys think about it. The Lions are a lock to win the NFC North. And the verdict, overreaction.
I figured.
Detroit finished last season on a high note, winning 8 of its final 10 games, knocking the Packers out of the playoff hunt on Sunday Night Football at Lambeau Field. The league took notice. The Lions are scheduled to play the Chiefs in the opener on September 7th. The strides that Jared Goff has made in 2022 under Ben Johnson, significant. This offseason, the Lions revamped their defense. ESPN Power Football Index gives the Lions a 43% chance to take the division. That's the 7th highest division winner percentage in the NFL. Nearly 15 percentage points better than their next highest NFC North team, the Vikings. But don't forget the Vikings are the defending champs. 13-4 last season. We're a ridiculous 11-0 in one-score games. That screams regression, though. Packers regression. Everybody else after that. Not good. So overreaction, basically. Do you guys agree with that?
I do, because I still think the Vikings are good. I know you guys. I know Ryan, you do not. I think Braylon is kind of a little bit above that. I still think the Vikings are the team to beat. 13 wins last year. I know they've lost 7 or 8 players, but I believe in Kirk Cousins still and keep that team together.
I'm the one that always tells you from the time we started the show, like, you have to show me. You have to show me. And the Lions have to show me. They got to go out there and show me that they didn't need an interior defensive lineman. They got to show me and they have to go out there and show me that they're going to be okay without Jamison Williams for the first 6 games of the season. And yeah, Minnesota is the returning champ. Not to mention they drafted Jordan Addison, who's already been cooking out there.
Yeah, he is.
They hired Brian Flores as a defensive coordinator. They got a lot of those guys back that were hurt last year, including second-round safety Lewis Seen out of Georgia. So they're going to be a team that's formidable. With Green Bay, they have good players. What is their quarterback going to do? I don't think much. And then Chicago, I think they'll be better than a lot of teams think, but they'll still be floating around 7 wins. So I think Detroit is the team to beat, and I think they will win this division. But it's okay to understand somebody has some reservations. I mean, this is the Detroit Lions we're talking about. One playoff win since 1957. So I understand the reservations, but I'm on the side that the Lions are the team to beat in this division, and they will win the division.
You know that when you say that,
you got to give Minnesota respect, though.
If you tell people, the Lions have only had 1 playoff win since 1957, they'll laugh. They won't believe you.
Yo,
I know.
Hold on. I just saw something, not to cut you off, Maz, that puts it in perspective. And, even though I know it, we say it all the time on the show. Maz, I've heard you say it 1 billion times. Ryan, I've heard you say it almost 1 billion times. We know this, but it wasn't until I read this, until I really thought about it. JFK has only missed 1 Lions playoff win.
Yes.
Just think about that. JFK has only missed 1 Lions playoff wins. When I read that, I was like, damn, whoa, man.
I mean,
and of
it
course
really puts it in perspective.
And of course, William Clay Ford signed to be the owner of the Lions on November 22nd, 1963.
The
day the president was assassinated.
Damn.
He comes outside of the First Detroit Bank, and he looks around. He's like, "Where the hell is everybody?"
There have been 5 presidents.
It's unbelievable. You can't.
And now
make
go back
it
to the
up.
one before that. How many presidents?
They're expansion teams that have won World Series and NBA championships and Stanley Cup and Pro Bowls, Super Bowls. And
I've seen
Lions.
Carolina in 2 Super Bowls.
One.
Since I was in I take that back.
Oh my God.
Since I was in college, I've seen Carolina in 2 Super Bowls. 2 Super Bowls.
There have been 8 presidential elections since the last time the Lions won a playoff game.
Hey, man, I feel bad for you guys out there. That's why I had to bring some of my magic to the Lions bandwagon.
Oh, my God.
I love the JFK.
I just read it yesterday.
I saw it, and I didn't get a second thought.
It was on Twitter or X. But now, when you see something like that, and just imagine being from Santa Fe, New Mexico, and reading that, you're like, the Lions suck. So if somebody tells you the Detroit Lions are going to win the division this year, after reading that, what are you going to say? The hell they are.
That's why That's why when you put the Cleveland Brown fans ahead of them, no,
it's Lions.
Right.
No.
I don't know, man.
No one suffers more for their soup than Lion fans. No one.
I have to admit.
No sport.
Oh, man. But we hope today is a new day. The NFL Network spent the day out at Allen Park. We'll get you some of those comments coming up next. Stacey Dales and Mike Garofalo spoke with a couple of different lines. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Taylor Decker. You'll hear those interviews coming up. But first, a message from Mark White.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time with no penalty at all? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates offers. It's called the minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate, visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. That number again, 248-290-8242. MarkWhiteSells.com, where flexibility meets real estate.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com. as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m. Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Talking about Thursday Night Golf League at 5 Iron Golf, the new simulator league downtown Detroit in the Cambria Hotel. Place is fun, simply put. It's going to get hot here in August. It's going to pick up. You want to be able to go inside and still play your favorite courses, whether it's Torrey Pines, whether it's Pebble Beach. Doesn't matter. Tehama, Spyglass, all around the U.S., we got the course, including Augusta. Come hang out, drinks, food, and everything. First time you go, half of it will be on Woodward Sports. Just say that as the code promo. Thursday Night Golf League coming August 25th, 5 Iron Golf, downtown Detroit.
Do they have Chandler Park on there?
They do. They do in the dying leaves.
Dude, 1 week from tonight, the Lions and Giants play the preseason game. I was watching Aaron Rodgers last night. Obviously, didn't
that's
play.
Your new favorite guy.
Huh?
That's your new favorite guy.
Screw him. I friggin' hate that prick.
Okay.
I still do. I mean, he's fine. But
you have Aaron Rodgers jersey on for a season, though.
Yeah, if you bring it back for me because you get it from the Jets.
Was that the ask?
But
was that the ask?
But who's gonna play quarterback for the Lions? Adrian Martinez?
No,
you're gonna have Nate Sudfeld out there. I mean, Jared Goff's not playing.
No.
They'll probably get one series in 2 weeks.
Who is playing quarterback?
I mean, it'll be Nate Sudfeld and Adrian Martinez, but don't you need another camp arm?
We'll see.
I mean, they've got Goff, they've got Nate Sudfeld, Hendon Hooker, and Adrian Martinez.
It sounds like Adrian Martinez and Nate Sudfeld to me.
Hey, are you going to that preseason game?
The rookie from Kansas State. I think maybe we'll go. I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet.
Ticket holder.
Yeah, I know. I got my tickets.
You got to go to the first one out the gate.
I might have to go to the first one.
You can't be. Are they trying to tow somebody's car? What's going on?
Oh, no.
They've been out there forever.
Not towing anybody. Braylon got towed.
Braylon
got towed here. So listen, take the wide shot, Parker. Take the wide shot.
On Christmas.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving weekend.
I think it was Thanksgiving weekend. So we're doing the show. This is Woodward Avenue right here. We're at 15 in Woodward. This is Woodward. And Braylon is doing the show. We're doing the show. He looks towards the window and he says, wait. That's my car. They were towing his car on Thanksgiving week.
Oh,
you know what? You're a piece of work.
But so forgive him if
it was on Wednesday.
If he's a little paranoid.
Got PTSD.
He's a little paranoid about seeing tow trucks.
What bank is this right here?
PNC.
Yeah, PNC. It was a lady from PNC Bank. Because underneath the tunnel, the little space where everybody parked. I swear, she called me, and because the guy told me when we went, Ryan was nice enough to take me over there, and I found out I couldn't get my car, and then I couldn't get my car the whole Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, you ever get your car towed, man? It is
it's the worst. It's a rental car,
and to be able to prove that it's your car. Well, here's my license. Would you have a registration? Yes, in the glove box. Car.
Well, we can't let you back. Okay, what do you want me to do?
How do you want me to prove to you that this is my car?
Man.
I don't know.
I took a picture of mine. I have it on my phone.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
That's smart.
I have it on my phone.
Well, I wasn't that smart. But you know what? It was the holiday, and I did have E&J. So
oh, my God. That's so funny. Guys, NFL Network.
Hey, if you get towed in New York, no matter where you are in New York, they tow you down to the Hudson River, the East River, where the boats are going out. And there's this one lot, and you can just picture it.
Yeah,
it is the lot.
PTSD this way.
It is the lot from hell. You don't even want to go get your car back.
Oh my gosh.
When you get towed down to that place. So Getting towed to New York's a hell of a lot worse than getting towed here.
Maz, sorry, your camera on the 3 shot is frozen.
Ann Arbor sucked.
Man.
What was Ann Arbor? Sack strips?
Say yes.
I knew it.
We all know that. Oh my God!
They're always picking on me.
I just
allegedly.
It's so funny.
It's another
Unbelievable.
one too. Sack strips and
guys, the NFL Network spent the day out at Lions camp yesterday. By the way, the Lions are off today.
They're always off.
Doesn't it feel like that?
No, they was off yesterday.
This is 11 days to camp, and they've had like 3 off days.
Okay, look, now I don't want to be that guy. I'm going to talk about my first year in the league. Like, when I was in the league, it was still 2-a-days. So, like, when you get to camp, even at Michigan, it was 2-a-days. Like, rookie 2-a-days. The next day is a 2-a-day. The next day is a 2-a-day. The next day is a 2-a-day. You only had one day of no 2-a-days, and it was Sundays. You had Sundays off from 2-a-days. That's how it used to be. And then they started going 2-1-2. Now I feel like they go like 1-0, 1-0-0, 1, maybe a half one after that. I love the schedule, but mine at the same time. Remember what I told you? O.J. Anderson told me. O.J. Anderson's Super Bowl MVP, New York Giants. Maz, we talked about
Super Bowl 25.
Super Bowl 25. Talked to the guy. He told me, he said the reason why they get injured, they don't hit enough. They don't practice it enough. Everything is like, we'll reserve our energy. We reserve our contact for when we need it. You need contact all the time so that when you get that contact, it doesn't hurt your shoulder as much. When your shoulder's not used to it, when you get hit, your shoulder, oh, shoot, I got a break on you because I don't know what happened. When you're hitting all the time, your body's used to it. They don't hit like that, and that's why you see a lot of injuries, man.
It's so true. I mean, and we see it a lot, too, with all these specialized athletes now. The amount of ACLs that you're seeing in college, in high school with these kids, because all year round, they're one-sport guys now, and they're using the same muscles that they use all year round. They don't play different sports anymore, so they're not working out different areas of their body. I digress on that. I want to get to this clip. It is NFL Network Stacey Dales talking with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. So these 2 running backs are tasked with really improving a strength for the Lions last year. It's like taking what you do great and making it greater with Gibbs and Montgomery. Here is their sit-down with NFL Network's Stacey Dales.
Hey, Scott. Yeah, welcome in. We just wrapped up practice. I have the new dynamic duo for the Detroit Lions with me. It's the veteran, David Montgomery, who spent the last 4 seasons in Chicago, now entering his 5th season, and the 12th overall pick, Jahmyr Gibbs, with these Lions. I'll start with the veteran statesman of the group, Demo. What is it about this team, this culture, where it's like, you're in a top 5 offense now, and you're going to be used significantly?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a beautiful thing to kind of be behind those guys up front, and being able to have special players to be able to make plays with the ball in their hands all around. It's going to be tough for defenses to stop us, and it's going to be fun, so I'm real excited.
Yeah, well, it's also, do you guys have nicknames for each other yet?
Yeah, well, he go by Ja.
Yeah, everybody
Okay.
know that.
And they pretty much call me Demo.
Yeah, all right, cool. What's he taught you so far?
So if I have a question, he's always there to answer it. I'll ask about like old runs or whatever. He'll give me answers. It's not like we pretty much know like what we got to do, but like it's just certain like little things that I need help on. He's there always to
Well, he's got to be super helpful, because I couldn't believe this, Jahmyr, that you had never, even prior to Alabama, you had never played in a huddle, right? You were getting those calls, those signals on boards. What kind of shock factor was that, I guess, when you joined these Lions, was it?
Yeah, I haven't been in the huddle since like I want to say 7th grade.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like 7th grade. But yeah, when I first got in the huddle, I think it was the first day of OTAs.
Yeah.
I was going through it. I was asking Adrian, because when we first got there, what I got and stuff. But yeah, it was very challenging. Then I got with I started trying to like lock in on keywords that mattered only to me.
That's
specific,
a football, by
specific
the way.
words. Yeah, my fault. In specific words.
Hold it like a football. Yeah.
Like specific words that that meant something to me. I would try to key in on those, so it kind of helped slow it down.
Right. And Jared, I know you told me before practice has been so. Jared Goff, your quarterback, so helpful. David, how would you describe Jared Goff?
Oh man, he's definitely seasoned in a way of just knowing where everyone has to be, and locking in on the play. There's times where I don't know exactly what I have to do, but, Jared does a great job of being sure that I know, even if it's mid-play, because I'm still learning offense, just like Jai is. But, yeah, Jared, he's locked in, and he's got a killer arm, too. So, just being able to see him work and, me watching him previously when he played with the Rams and him being here and actually being a part of a team with him is definitely pretty cool to be a part of.
Okay, so you guys are Detroit Lions. There's a certain Detroit Lion that we all love. He's a Hall of Famer, Mr. Barry Sanders. Advice for both of you. Give me some advice that he's given you.
Oh, man.
The legend.
So I actually was able to talk to him when I came out of college. It was like a starstruck moment for me. But one of the things he told me back then when I talked to him was being sure that I'm comfortable with being me all the time.
Love that.
Don't try to change how I play the game because how I play the game is essentially how I got here. So that was the biggest thing he really told me. It kind of stuck with me ever since.
How about you, Jameer?
With me, we didn't really talk much about football, so it was more about just life, how we grew up and certain things like that. So not yet, but I'm gonna try to get some. I'm
sure you'll get some good intel there from Barry Sanders. Just you got that Chicago Bears game circled on the calendar, Demo?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's week 11, I think.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. I'm excited to play against some of those guys, still my brothers, and being able to suit up against those boys. So it'll be fun.
Well, Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, told me, you guys, as I get ready to throw it back to you, he's been around few backs as good as David Montgomery, and then this young man right here, all the ways they're going to use him, especially in the pass game in Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be special. Thank you both for joining us.
Of course.
Awesome. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Courtesy of the NFL Network and Stacey Dales. Braylon?
Just saying, you talked about they had a lot to replace in terms of a strength last year. The running game was definitely a strength led by the offensive line last year. Jamal Williams, 17 touchdowns, and DeAndre Swift, when he was in there, he made plays. But at the same time, the consistency, they don't have to replace. These guys were consistent where they were. David Montgomery was consistent in Chicago. Jahmyr Gibbs was consistent in college. The explosion, they don't have to replace the explosiveness. I know DeAndre Swift was explosive. DeAndre Swift hasn't seen his speed like Jahmyr Gibbs has. He's 77 yards was his longest last year, averaged 6.1 yards a carry. It's college, but it's also the SEC, which is somewhat like the NFL experience. So I think they don't, in a sense, it's not like they're coming in to replace an individual that had 1,400 yards last year, or they're replacing two individuals that were a thunder and lightning combo, and when they were in there, you were scared. They're replacing guys that were good in their own right by themselves. I think they have a chance to be a good tandem, and I think they can add some things that we never see. And one of them is both of them are damn good catches of the football outside of the pocket. Both of them, 500 yards last year for David Montgomery, and then 900 yards total for Jahmyr Gibbs in his time in college. So these guys can catch out the backfield, and they're very explosive.
Fill in the blank Friday next around the NFL. After that, little Tigers talk to close.
Tigers.
That's the rest of the day, ladies and gentlemen. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 55 years. Les Stanford Buick GMC offers the same great service that customers have come to know. You can go check them out on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. And, of course, looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue, where they have been for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. Because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
You know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
You know what day it is.
TGIF.
Oh.
Do you remember TGIF back in the day?
Man, Full House.
Oh my God, Family Matters.
You look.
Everywhere you go, it's a house.
And then
somebody to
Urkel.
Family Matters.
Oh my gosh. What else is on?
Stefan Urkel.
Oh no,
Step
I did
by
not
step.
like Step by Step.
Day by day. Okay.
Ooh, baby. No, yeah, Step by Step.
Step by Step.
I remember that, man.
Susan Summers, man.
Come on now.
Three's Company.
Jack Tripper.
We went to the same place. There you go. Mr. Furley was the guy.
Regal Beagle.
The Regal Beagle.
Mr. Furley.
Tom Mazawey. It is the Fill in the Blank Friday, if you will, at your leisure. At your leisure.
Yes, sir. Let's do it, fellas. Let's start it off with a little Eduardo Rodriguez talk. Eduardo Rodriguez of the Tigers will blank for the Tigers in 2024.
I'll lead this off, and I'm going to go win. I think he's going to win for the Detroit Tigers next year. I think, you know what I'm saying, you see where his mind is. You see what he is. He's committed to A.J. Hinch. He's committed to Sky Harris. He's committed to what they're doing in the interim period. I think long-term period, I think he will win for the Detroit Tigers next year.
I think he will play for the Detroit Tigers as well. Okay. I do. Whether it's a renegotiated contract or not, obviously it's going to be a renegotiated contract. He was trying to eke another $20 million out of the L.A. Dodgers, so that means money is going to be of importance.
That was the holdup.
And, if Erod wants to rip up his contract right now and renegotiate, I think Scott Harris should do that and not wait to the season, not wait for him to opt out. Go do that. Yeah.
All right.
I like it.
All right. Let's go on. Let's do another Tiger one before we get to football. The Tigers will be blank games back in the AL Central on September the 1st.
3.
Wow.
I had 2.
Yep.
Wow.
Every time we played this game about the Tigers this year, I've erred on the side if they're going to be close enough to strike. Like when Ryan came up with they need to be this, that, and third, I said they'd be that. I said back, it just feels like a weird year for the Tigers.
Here's why I say 3. Because you go 4-2 in the 6 games against the Twins. You pick up 2, and that gets you to 4. And then just the rest of the way, you pick up 1 more game.
1 year. Yeah.
That's it.
That's
all you need.
It's easy.
It sounds easy enough, doesn't it?
They start a 3-game set with the first place Tampa Bay Rays tonight.
Ouch.
At Comerica. So let's see what they can do with Tampa Bay.
Can't change my answer.
Here's a college football one for
wait, you know what?
What?
Justin Verlander might pitch against the Tigers.
He might.
In a couple of weeks here.
Wow. I know he's pitching against the Yankees tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Nice?
Sunday night baseball.
Yep.
Or Saturday night.
Saturday night prime time.
On Fox.
Yeah.
You know it. Okay, here we go. How about a little college football for you? Blank will be the MVP of the Michigan offense. Blank will be the MVP of the Michigan offense.
Who's the offense coordinator this year? I can't keep up.
Sharon Moore.
It was a joke.
Oh.
It was a joke. I can't keep up. It's going to be Sharon Moore. I think it's going to be Sharon Moore because I think J.J. McCarthy's going to open up the passing game.
It's a great one.
So I think he's going to open up that passing game. You'll see out of J.J. what you want to see. It's going to open up for the wide receivers, Cornelius Johnson, as well as Roman Wilson, who's coming back this year, and the running backs will ball. And only they have Loveland, too. That tight end that is bad. So I think it'll be Sharon Moore. But if you're looking for a player answer, Michigan's always been about the running back position. You know, even when I was there, it was Chris Perry's team. You know what I'm saying? It's Mike Hart's team, Anthony Thomas' team, and right now it's Blake Corum's team. So it'll be Blake Corum.
I'm going to go with the quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. I do think Jim Harbaugh wants to feature him. He showed up, J.J. McCarthy did, on the Heisman watch list today. 10 players on there. J.J. McCarthy is one of them. I do think they would like to get the quarterback position and the wide receiver moving a little bit at Michigan.
The one thing about it, I would say this is when I was thinking about coming out, Ryan, as a junior, went through the whole process. You guys know that already. I decided to come back. And when I told Lloyd, I said, hey, I'm coming back. Like, I choose to come back to the institution. We lost to USC, got unfinished business, much like Blake Corum came back. And when I came back, Lloyd put the ball in my hand. Like, Lloyd put the ball in my court. Chad threw me the ball majority of the time. He let the offense go through me. I think it's going to be a similar case with Blake Corum. I think it's going to be one of those situations where Harbaugh's a loyal guy. Hey, you came back for the team. You came back for Michigan. You came back to see it through all the way. We're going to reward you. I'm going to stick with Blake Corum because I think this is Jim Harbaugh. He's going to reward Blake Corum for coming back when he didn't have to.
All right.
Yeah.
How about this one? I think we kind of answered it, but I'll throw it out there again.
Okay.
Blank and blank will be the next two teams to defect from the Pac-12.
Utah, Arizona State. They're going to the Big 12.
Yeah. I'd say Utah and definitely I say Utah, Washington State.
There you go.
Because Washington left already. So I think the Apple Cup.
All right, here we go. Let's go to this now. These are two of my favorites, and we got a little text on the screen.
Oh, we
show you.
we got some graphics.
Okay.
Here you go. A little graphic. Blank is your favorite NFL throwback helmet. Blank is your favorite NFL throwback helmet.
Ooh,
that's uniform.
There's only one.
Those are uniforms, so we'll go uniforms.
We're
first.
all in. We're all in on the Oilers. We're all three of us.
Oh, there's helmets. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm still with the
helmet
Oilers.
and uniform. We're all in on the Oilers, right? Or the
No,
Bucko.
don't speak for me.
Are you Bruce?
You know I am.
He's Bruce for sure.
You're Bruce for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Oilers.
I'm going with the Oilers. That oil
Derek.
That oil Derek.
It's an oil Derek.
Oil Derek.
The Derek
is just gorgeous.
So that's your helmet.
Just
look at that. Look
just
at that.
like Bo Derek.
Look at that blue helmet. That Lions helmet. It's like the odd one out.
So as part of my
God,
as part of looking,
that Denver's one's gonna look nice this year too.
Yeah, the ice cap Denver.
Part of
Denver's
looking through
look
all
nice.
that 1991 Lions stuff
Yeah.
that I've been doing, I saw that Thanksgiving 1992 was Lions and Oilers at the Silverdome, and it was just unbelievable.
I was at that game.
It was just a different uniform. No, that uniform is classic.
It's beautiful.
How do you get rid of the Oilers? If I'm the Houston Texans, I do whatever I have to do to buy that back, to buy that name
You
back.
wear the blue pants and everything. It's beautiful. It was gorgeous uniform.
I loved it, man.
Terrible.
But nothing beat the Buccaneers. Nothing beat the
It's
Buccaneers.
a soft
I
uniform.
do love
It's a soft uniform.
I love the Patriot.
Yeah, I agree. Super soft.
too
But
soft.
The
for
Patriot-
football.
It screams kick our ass.
No, not the helmet.
No, not the helmet, but even the guy, even Bucko Bruce was kind of like,
he's as cool as they come.
In what circles?
He's biting the freaking knife.
In what circles,
He's like,
Maz?
"Ooh, you playing today? What's up?"
All right, listen, you guys.
Come on.
I'm taking Bucko, and I'm taking Pat the Patriot second.
So was he.
Pat the Patriot second.
You're terrible, Braylon.
I'm done. That's it for Fill in the Blank Friday.
Bucko Bruce was taking him to.
What do you want here, Parker?
Not Bucko Bruce.
Oh yeah, baby. You know what time
That's
it is.
JB.
This is a family show, by the way,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen. This
yeah,
is a family
absolutely.
show. Maz, you need to knock it off.
I will.
It's a
Right.
family show.
Yeah, I think you both need to knock it off here.
Or you end up like
What
Bucko
are
Bruce.
Redskins on that one?
Come on, man.
Sorry.
Come on. I'm trying to conduct business here. Trying to conduct business,
All right, I'm so
please.
sorry.
Let's go to JB, who is professional over here, for a look at Planet Fitness.
I thought they told my
and
car
then we'll go
again.
around the NFL. My goodness, what a Friday.
I got you guys. Look,
Thank you.
summertime is
Somebody's
a
gotta
great
be
time
professional.
to join Planet Fitness and beat low E. Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals when you're in the Planet Fitness building, because Planet Fitness has a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, plus all memberships include fitness training. Your fitness is essential and a key part of your physical and mental wellness, which is why they have invited teens between the ages of 14 and 19 to work out for free all summer long with their high school summer pass. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
opinion, make sure it's seen and heard.
Corner, jumper,
Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
How about that rookie? He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. We are the network for Detroit, by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
So great. Oh, man. We have more fun, I think, in the commercial than on the show sometimes because there is some really funny stuff that goes on.
It always turns into fun.
There is some funny stuff that goes on, man. Braylon, I want to go around the NFL and to do that because there are some news and notes. We did have a football game last night.
We did.
We'll go over to Tom.
Anyone
Mazawey.
watch it?
I did watch it. I was out there watching a little bit of it.
I watched Houston and the Yankees, and I flipped over. The lights went out for a little bit. They showed a picture of Aaron Rodgers in the dark, and everyone's, of course, making the joke. He's in the dark
retreat,
again.
yeah.
In the dark retreat. Anyway, last night, a 21-16 Browns win in Canton. Almost a home game for those Brown fans. Here's a little stat for you.
Did you take the Brownies?
I did not. I know someone that did, though.
Not me, but I know somebody that did.
Here's a little stat for you. The team that has won the Hall of Fame game,
terrible season,
has not made a playoff since like 2011 or something like that, or even earlier than that. I wish I got to find that stat for you, but it doesn't bode well for the Browns.
Don't the worst teams in the league normally play in the Hall of Fame game?
Do you remember 08? What the Lions did in the preseason?
4-0.
And what did they do in the regular season?
0-16.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Can that be duplicated? That can never be duplicated.
It can be, not because you don't play 16 games or 4 games.
I know, but you know what I mean.
Oh, you're talking about go 0-16?
It could be 3-0 and 0-17.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Impossible.
Only the
to
Lions
do.
can do that.
Impossible to do.
Never did anything like
So anyway, the Browns win it last night. Class of 2023 gets enshrined tomorrow in Canton, led by Rondé Barber, Joe Thomas, Joe Klecko, Darrell Revis, and a host of others, including a bunch of old-time veterans that are going in. Don Coryell, the former great head coach of the San Diego Chargers. The offense with Dan Fouts and Wes Chandler and J.J. Jefferson and Chuck Muncie. What a great team what a great offense that Chargers team was. And Air Coryell was behind it.
So leave this up for me for a second, Parker. Watch out the degrees of separation are for me in this terms of this Hall of Fame class. So Eric Coryell, who started the West Coast offense, you just named one of the wide receivers that he coached, Wes Chandler.
Yeah.
Guess who was my coach in Cleveland the year I made the Pro Bowl? Wes Chandler.
Wow.
Joe Thomas, we just talked about. I played with Joe at same age and et cetera. DeMarcus Ware, who's a friend of mine, same draft class, 05. Darrell Revis, you already know, that's my boy. Played with him a couple years. Joe Klecko in the Sack Exchange used to always come to the games. They came to almost every game.
He did the radio. He does the radio for the Jets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm more close to Tiki than Rondé, but Rondé's always been a good dude. And Zach Thomas hit me probably the second hardest of anybody ever.
Zach Thomas?
My rookie year, as my first start. We started against the Miami Dolphins. catches me up under the chin on a curl route. So I'm coming towards the quarterback, and I'm running towards him. But I'm looking at the ball. All I could think about was, take the hit. You in the NFL now. Take the hit, catch the ball. So I'm looking through him because he's all of 5'2". So I'm looking through him at the ball, and he catches me right up under the chin.
Oh, my God.
And so he knocks me back into the first down. And I get to the sideline. Coach was like, you good? I was like, no, but I deal with it after the game. He effed me up.
How many weeks did you miss?
None.
Hey,
what?
Can you
Weeks.
just think about that?
I missed a play.
Right. The amount of just collisions.
Yeah.
That
It's a car crash.
It's
a car crash.
I'm going to pay for it later in life, but that's why I'm trying to do things like swim in the mornings. I've been doing like luminosity, brain exercise, motion, continuous motion. If you just sit and chill, or you sit and lay, or you sit all day, things like that, the stuff that you dealt with before, it really will be bad. But if you do things like that, you can extend the quality of your health in terms of walking and movement. Yoga's coming next. Pilates is coming next. Like, if you take care of yourself, you can extend the quality. But if you don't, and you complain about how bad things were, I'm just looking just like OJ or Jim Brown. So,
hey, Chuck Howley is on that list as well. Just to let you know, Chuck Howley of the Dallas Cowboys, Super Bowl V MVP, played defensive line. They lost that game, and he was still the MVP of Super Bowl V. So they go in tomorrow. If you've never been to an enshrinement, that's something that's on my list.
It is on my list, too.
I'd like to go.
I know, it is on my list,
I would love
too,
to go.
didn't Chuck Howley have 3 interceptions in that game?
I don't remember how many, but I know he was the MVP.
Yeah, he had
and
like
at the end of the game, he took his helmet, and they lost, and he threw it across the field. I'll never forget that.
He had like 3 interceptions in that game.
That was my first Super Bowl that I actually
man.
really remember watching start to finish.
What I'm trying, the one for me, if I'm being honest, like you do next, Ryan, one for me would have been, it's an infamous one, but it's the truth. I'll never forget when Scott Norwood missed the field goal. That was the first one, start to finish. He missed the field goal because that was the first one I watched in Atlanta. As a kid, we moved in December of '89.
See that?
And that was
90.
That was January. That was January of '90.
Yeah.
And that was also who sang that national anthem.
Whitney Houston.
Bam,
the greatest
first one
of
I
all
remember.
time.
Yep.
Ryan, how about you? What was the first Super Bowl you
7 years
actually, you remember? And be honest, that you sat and watched. Because Super Bowl
might
V for
have been
me,
the Buffalo Bills, Scott Norwood.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't wrap my head around that when I'm talking to you guys.
And I think
I'm younger. Like I watched them when I was with my dad, but that's the
20
first
years
one.
difference.
So, and my mom used to work for Mike Lodish's dad.
Oh wow!
So Mike Lodish
on that Bills
played. He played in 6
Denver.
Super Bowls.
Yeah, Denver and
4
Buffalo.
Super Bowls with the Bills and 2 with the Broncos.
He's 0-6.
He won 2 with the Broncos.
Oh, in the 90s.
He's got the Elway win.
So,
the 80s
he's got the
Broncos.
Elway's win. So, knowing that he played, so we watched.
Okay.
We watched Super Bowl, but we watched with a little bit more.
Sure. You paid
excitement.
attention.
Yeah, exactly. So pretty cool.
That's something, man.
Yeah.
I'll never, music and sports to me is how I do my entire life timeline.
Wasn't
I know
Michael
exactly
at halftime?
where I am. Pardon?
Wasn't Michael halftime?
Who?
Michael Jackson.
Of that one? I don't think so.
He was at the.
It was maybe the
Rose
one
Bowl.
after.
He was at the Rose Bowl.
That
wasn't
was the
he?
same one.
Yeah.
No, they weren't at the Rose Bowl.
Oh,
they were at the Sombrero. in
He's
Tampa.
the world.
Sombrero, okay, yeah.
Make
But the
this a better
Buffalo was in it. Maybe it was
place.
Buffalo Redskins.
That's the
For
following
you
year. That was at the
and-
Georgia Dome.
Oh gosh. Sorry.
Buffalo Dallas.
That might have been it.
Buffalo,
That was outside.
Buffalo Dallas. Yeah.
And that's a Leon Lett.
I kept guessing Buffalo. I was gonna get one.
1993 halftime show. Michael Jackson.
There it is. Leon Lett.
Yeah, good call, Maz. You called it first. It took me 9 guesses to get there.
All right, let's go on to a guy that's near and dear to our heart, Jeff Okudah.
Big E. Oh.
God bless him.
He got hurt again today, guys. Hurt his ankle. He was carted off practice today in Atlanta. They talked to Arthur Smith, the head coach. He really didn't have anything. They're doing an MRI. Parker's friends say he's out for the year. I have not seen anything yet online to see how far or how long Jeff Okudah will be out, but we are hoping and praying for him that he's a great guy. We love him, and we want him to be on the field to show what he's got.
Hopefully this is a situation like C.J. Gardner-Johnson when it looks a lot worse than it is, and a couple of days later he's back, because Jeff Okudah is a really good person who works really hard. He's a family man, And we wish him nothing but the absolute best and total seriousness.
It's not his fault he got drafted by the worst people in the world.
Right.
In the wrong time.
Yep.
Hey, I'm going to leave this one for you, Ryan.
Okay.
It is the Stetson Bennett, Sony Michel saga.
So
look at this.
Braylon, this is the
amazing.
most incredible thing you'll see today.
This is amazing.
So Stetson Bennett and Sony Michel played at Georgia together.
Right. I remember that.
Stetson Bennett is entering his first season in the NFL.
Sony's leaving.
Sony is retiring. How in the world?
With 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, right. I mean, you
With
think
two
about
champions.
Isn't that something?
Hey, look. Are you trying to say he's retiring because Stetson Bennett is bad?
No,
I'm messing
no.
with
I
you.
mean, it's just like
I'm joking.
crazy when you think of how old Stetson Bennett actually is.
He's 26 to start this year. Or 25. He's 100% an old guy. Oh, I see how you're saying it now.
That's how
he's
old
got some years on
Stetson
him.
Bennett is.
He's got some.
He's old enough to play with a guy in college that is now retiring from the NFL.
Sony Michel, man, like he
was my guy when he played. I loved Sony Michel. I picked him every year in fantasy for like 3 years.
That's why you lost.
He's one of those individuals that's I was looking for that comment, but he's one of these smart individuals nowadays, man. He's made a name in Georgia. He's made a name in the NFL. He's got two Super Bowl wins, and he can politic that health-wise into anything that he wants to do. So that's what you're starting to see from players, man. They're getting, hey, look, I got a little slice of my pie. I want to retire, and I get my legs still work.
My goodness, guys, we're gonna put a pin in this. We'll pause. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up. Tigers tonight. WrestleMania. God, I keep saying WrestleMania.
I got more NFL too,
and we do have a couple of more NFL notes, including Johnny Manziel and a big revelation. Wishing him the best too. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars. One for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, your best bud, your mom, your dad, your brother, sister, whoever you want to give it to. That's up to you. Lady Jane's. It's open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
At Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can be used for 7-on-7 football. K-8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and don't forget that Ermanni and Edwards will be broadcasting from their carnival on August 24th. Come meet the staff and explore your child's new school. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment, so go to academyofwarren.net. That website again, academywarren.net.
I apologize about that. You did an amazing job when you read that. I just get excited when I know we're going to be close to Grosse Pointe because you guys talk about food over in Grosse Pointe so much. So, are we doing lunch that day, guys?
You know what time
it is.
We're
going to get some Grosse
Pointe. That's all right. We'll find another
Where are we going to go?
Sahara's is closed for a month because they went to Lebanon.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Ollie.
So
Ollie and
we won't be going.
No, we got to go somewhere else.
Make reservations for 5.
How can Ollie and Waleed do that
Maybe
to us?
Maybe we'll go have lunch at Hook.
Okay. Go Hook.
Oh, baby.
Abby's last day is today.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah.
Did she enjoy herself?
She loved it.
Oh, good.
She loved it.
Good. Hopefully she'll be back for the holidays.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
All right. Very good.
Make stop by Denby High School while I'm over there.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, by the way, so Scott Bell, you guys follow Scott Bell on Twitter. He's a good follow. He's a Michigan guy. He says, last year, Mel Tucker had a countdown to a major announcement. It was the launch of NFTs. He sold fewer than 10. This year, Mel Tucker had a countdown to a major announcement. It was an attempt to make MSU the Big Ten's cool uniform school. Days later, Oregon joins the conference. That's a good follow, Scott Bell.
Nice job, Scott.
SBell021 on Twitter.
That was actually kind of funny.
I like that guy.
I was a big fan of MSU.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Maz, what do you want?
Yesterday, Braylon brought up Trayvon Diggs and how he went after Dak Prescott. So, of course, the Dallas media is going to go up to him and say, hey, what's up with you and Dak? Well, Trayvon comes out and says, hey, mind all your business. Mind your freaking business. Dak is our leader. So, Braylon, I'm coming to you. Trayvon Diggs against Dak Prescott. That's none of our business. Am I correct?
100%. Same thing I said yesterday. Often than not, there's way too much access nowadays, and people are being privy to more and more what happened behind the scenes. It's just like wrestling back in the day when you found out it was already known outcut. You peek behind the fourth wall, and that's what's happening now in sports. You're hearing conversations. You would have never saw the Draymond Green and Jordan Poole thing 30 years ago, even 20 years ago. You never hear these comments that you're starting to hear. We talk like this all the time. Iron sharpens iron, and sometimes this is the way we talk to players. This is the way we grew up playing the game, and this is how we operate. So if it's too much for you, then change the channel.
Here's a little something on Johnny Manziel. I got a 2-part story on him.
He's got a 2-part series.
He does. First part about this is when he was released by the Browns, I think it was 2016, if I'm not mistaken. He went into a real dark place, and he thought about committing suicide. And thankfully, he got to the right people that talked to him, and he said, look, I spent all that money just to basically hide my problems and hide everything. And he got the help he needed, thank God, and he's still around today because he has now opened his own restaurant and nightclub. And you know what it's called?
Johnny Money?
It's called, what's this called, Ryan?
Johnny Manziel's Money Bar.
Johnny Manziel's Money Bar.
Oh, my God. Good for him.
But that's good, man.
That's good.
We all thought he was going to be great for football. And he just didn't. Well, it didn't turn out he had it.
Well, technically, he was great for football. Like, when you're looking at it objectively, like, when I was looking at it, I said, look, you got a guy here that's 5'9", that can't see over a line, that is decent speed in college. He's having some success, has the moxie, but that SHIT ain't gonna work in the league. Like, it's not gonna work like that, especially with him partying all the time. Johnny Manziel was partying his dad called him out for being an alcoholic in college. When something happens like that, you cannot possibly think that that's gonna be successful at this corporate level, because the NFL is a corporate business.
Guys, have a good time at SummerSlam. Maz, I'm telling you, buddy, you enjoy the Tigers tonight.
I will.
Tell Darren Hill we said hello.
Well, I'm taking him tomorrow. Tonight I'm on my own.
Tonight you go to the ball game by yourself.
I am.
All right, man. I love that.
Hey.
I love that.
I love baseball.
I love it.
I love that you love baseball.
Maz, I love that you go to the ball game by yourself.
Thanks, bro.
Do you keep score?
I don't, but I do pay attention.
Okay.
My eyes are everywhere. Comerica Park.
I know.
Let me tell you something. You wanna have a good time, guys. And I'm married. I'm done. But you guys have a good time. You go to the park on a Friday. It's better than going to the club.
It's some lookers, man.
That's all I got to tell you. It's better than going to the club.
Close this out, Bray.
Hey, everybody out there, thanks for bearing with us this week with my voice. I promise you, the voice will be back on Monday. It'll be smooth as the golden tongue. So we appreciate you for this week.
Yeah.
Leaning in there. We'll be back Monday. Get quiet, Detroit Lions. Think about this.
Yeah.
Okay, LA Knight. Just think about this. When we come back Monday, it'll be 4 days until the Detroit Lions play their first game. Ryan, Ermanni in the preseason.
Yeah.
But for JB, Parker, my man Maz over there, and Parker, by the way, you've been crushing it this week. Had to throw that out for you, Ryan.
Yeah, Parker.
Love you. We'll see you guys next week. This is Woodward Sports Network.
Tuck coming.